And away we go. It is the nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com. Visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. And get yourself down to Dayton, Kentucky. Tell them to pump it up. Save yourself 15% off of your order. Or go to the app, have them deliver pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop. Aaron.
Chad.
Brendel, Aaron Smith. So remember how I said last night? Maybe I'll swing by Galactic tomorrow and pick up some lunch for radio.
Sure.
Got a text this morning. Shane, lunch? Yeah, lunch. Lunch sounds good. Good follow-up. So I went and picked up some chicken, some boxes of Galactic. Got enough to bring home for the girls so they could have dinner tonight. But I will tell you this. Chicken dunkers for the first time. Outstanding. Maybe my favorite new thing. Maybe my favorite thing there now. Yeah.
Better than the tendies, huh?
Perfect, like 2 bites, like a good, like if you eat boneless wings, like the size of a good boneless wing, you get that 1 bite and then you got the full second bite after it. Nice. But with the Galactic, like breading,
right.
Oh,
nice.
The chicken dunkers were fire. And you get,
8 of them?
8 of them on top of a bed of fries. It was outstanding. They were really good. So, if you're wondering, add the chicken dunkers to the list. I just haven't had them yet.
I still got to check out the sandwich.
It's big. I mean, it's just a Texas toast with a chicken tendies on it. I've seen, big. All right. We're off on Fridays.
I'm so happy.
I can't wait. We've done so much. And look, this month has been the last 28 days on this channel have been what we've been building for a year. So thanks to all of you. Greatly appreciated. For those of you that haven't liked and subscribed, please like and subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. It would help us out. But also, thank you. This has been the type of month that this is why you get into it, to have the type of growth that we've seen this month across all the shows. So you guys are awesome. Thank you. And let's get to is there anything happening Saturday? Nothing?
I mean,
you don't have anything?
I hear there's a shoot around.
A little shooty hoops game?
One of the sports balls.
One of the sports balls. That's right. The indoor sports ball. No, just football visits this weekend. That's what it is. Football visits.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crosstown Shootout. I talked to a lot of people. Done a lot of. I've done a lot of radio content. I was in Vermo the past couple days. Berg's got an article up.
Crazy person.
He is a crazy person. And Brent will have his preview up. I'll get it up either tonight or first thing tomorrow. But let's get our thoughts. Let's get your thoughts. Aaron Smith. Both teams are 6-3. Xavier's losses have been against Gonzaga, Duke, and can't remember the third one. I don't know who the third one is.
I'll look it up.
But they beat Florida, a Florida team that's not very good. They beat West Virginia, a solid West Virginia team that West Virginia was up by 7 at halftime, and Xavier won the second half by 17. This is a very good offensive team at Xavier. They can really score, and they don't shoot a lot of threes.
Indiana by 2.
Indiana, that's right. I forgot the Trace Jackson Davis game where he had like 40 or whatever.
Just 6, 8, and 12 at the time they played.
Yeah. Those teams are pretty good. So
right here.
Yeah. So you can't really fault Xavier for any of their losses. You can't really fault UC for Arizona. Ohio State, they got smoked. So you can fault them for that. And then the other one we don't talk about. It didn't happen.
That was a tragedy.
It didn't happen. But Ken Palm says the line is Xavier is 2.5 points better than UC. ESPN says a 52% chance for Xavier to win. a 48% chance for Cincinnati to win. We do not get gambling lines on basketball typically until about 24 hours before tip-off. So we'll be looking for that tomorrow. Aaron, what are your thoughts on Xavier being favored by 2.5 points or the 48% on ESPN? Is that closer than you anticipated?
Far closer than I anticipated.
If you were setting the line,
I would never gamble on this game. And I'll tell you.
No, it's a bad game to gamble on.
I'll tell you why. Crazy shit always happens. And as in any other shootout, I anticipate the leading scorer to be somebody who's not in the top 3 for either team for the season. That's usually how this game goes.
There's usually either like a senior that hasn't like had a great career or whatever, but has
full
like,
blossoming yet.
Yeah, has a big shootout, or there's like a young guy that like has his breakout, like his
coming for the
introduction.
throne.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, gambling on it, but if you have
that said, Cincinnati's about due for one of those games. When was the last time Cincinnati had a game where they had a rising star shine, or where they had a guy, a senior, just explode onto the scene in maybe their first shootout ever because they've been on another team down in Tennessee? I'm just saying there could be some things that happen. I would love to see Cincinnati take this one down. Didn't realize I was wearing blue for this one. That was like unintentional.
Different blue. It's like
it's a Skyline shirt. It's a Skyline shirt.
That's fine.
It is a
Crosstown Shootout. So.
It is from another t-shirt company, not the one that sponsors us. So I won't shout out that t-shirt company. Let's just say it's from Cincinnati.
Yeah. Well, that other one that we work with just was talking to us about sponsoring some shows here. So,
well, I didn't drop another name, so I'm just saying you can't see it. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, but yeah, I would love to see Cincinnati finally get one where maybe a Dan Skillings goes off, has 18 points, is 6 of 7 from 3, and has a double-double. Well, Vic has another quiet double-double going 10-10, and Cincinnati takes this one all the way home and gets it done in front of a packed Fifth Third Arena.
Yeah. It's there are a couple guys from X that I'll stick to the UC, like the UC stuff here. I think Victor Locken has to be
locked
on the floor. Victor Locken has to be on the floor as much as humanly possible this game. But you also, if this is going to be a close game, you have to be smart. Because if you play him for 30 minutes and he's gassed in a tight game down the stretch, you're in trouble. We saw what Jack Nungy can do in this game last year. He was the transfer.
Yeah.
Well, it did make sense because if you looked at their games before the shootout, he was their best player. He just didn't have like an explosion like that, but he was their best player coming into that game, and that played out in even magnified fashion on that night. But Victor Locken he cannot pick up 2 fouls in the first half. He can't.
No. No, he's got to be careful with that. And so I wonder how aggressive he gets. And again, like,
he's an emotional kid. Like, he's a kid that gets caught up in things. And
he's also, while he may be emotional, he's not the most emotional one on this team.
No, but I'm not talking about like hot-headed. I'm talking about.
I was going to say that one belongs to the mask, who also can't get in foul trouble.
But what I'm talking about with Vic is the crowd, the energy can like ramp him up. Like I'm guessing like, Russian like 16 and under hoops isn't putting 13,000 screaming fans in an arena. So this is all very new to him. and a game of this magnitude, like he didn't handle it well last year.
No.
And he has got to take a deep breath and realize this team has to have me on the floor. If he is not on the floor,
your other three options, I guess, are a Kalua Zekpe, who's struggled this year. I think that's the nicest way to put it. Odie, who has
he's been solid.
He's had flashes, sure.
Yeah. But do you want him guarding?
I don't want I don't want crunch
25
time
minutes.
Don't want crunch time minutes from Odie if I can help it, or Sage, who's played 5 minutes this season.
This season
is what I said. Yeah,
in his life, in his college basketball life,
career.
Right? Yeah, he's played 5 minutes.
5 minutes, and you put him on the biggest stage.
Yeah. So I think that is critical. And then 2 of the 3, DeJulius, Nolly, Davenport, have to have big games. Have to.
Define big game though. 15
you can't have 2 of those 3 combined for 5 points, like you saw in the Ohio State game
on a 30% shooting night.
No, when they combine, like it's way worse than that. I'm talking about just those 2 in particular. Like 2 of the 3 have to play really well. 2 of the 3 have to be at 15 or above.
15 points.
And it would help if the third one was at like 12, right? Like this is
of course.
Neither of these teams are good at defense. Both of these teams score a lot of points. And the only way you can win a game where a lot of points are scored is if you also score a lot of points.
You think you think the over-under on this game is going to be 140 plus?
I almost think it has to be. 142 and a half will be my guess.
So you hammer the over?
I think so. Like both of these teams want to run. Neither of these teams want to sit down and really defend. Like I think the whole vibe of this game could be different if John Newman and Rob Finney were available, but they're not.
Sure. Right. Fair to say that maybe round 2 of what Cincinnati looked like against Arizona? Potentially?
Maybe, but Arizona's got a lot more skill than Xavier, like front to back.
And if that's the case, Cincinnati ran with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, it got a little closer thanks to some Josh Reed threes, but
that and Landers Nolly was out of his mind and made 9 threes.
I'd take that again in any crosstown shootout by anyone.
Right? One guy making 9 threes, I would take that.
Let's go.
Who you got?
If Ken Palm is saying that it's 2.5,
I think.
Is it moved up to 2.5?
No, I mean that's their formula. Like it spits out a number. It's not
fine.
Ken Palm doesn't. Well, Ken Palm's a algorithm or metric. Like
give me the Cincinnati bump at home. Let's go Bearcats. And I'm taking Cincinnati in the crosstown shootout. It's been entirely too long. Pretty much most of the guys who have struggled against Xavier in the crosstown shootout, almost everyone who's played for Cincinnati in a crosstown shootout has a win on this team. Yeah.
No.
When was
they've lost their last 3 crosstown.
Has it been that long? Man, I thought it was more recently than that. Well, then sure. Then we're due.
Mick Cronin won the last crosstown shootout. The Jaron, Cumberland, Big Boy.
The COVID timeline has screwed up my entire life. So
yeah, I know. It's 2018 is the last time Cincinnati won the crosstown shootout.
2018 seems like a decade ago.
Last Thursday seems like 5 years ago. So
yeah. So, but no, I'm taking Cincinnati. They're due. It's been too long. This is the since Mick's been gone, I think this is the best roster that has been assembled.
Not a tall bar to leap.
I mean, John inherited a pretty decent roster.
The first year with Trey and Jaron and Javen and Keith Williams and those that was decent. It was solid.
I think I like this roster as assembled currently better.
Yeah.
Maybe that's me being excited about the young guys who I think are going to have fantastic careers here, both Dan and Josh particularly. But yeah, give me Cincinnati, especially if Ken Palm has it that close.
I hope you're right. I think it's probably. I mean, I think just X is in a better spot right now with the injuries that Cincinnati's dealing with. I hope you're right. I want it desperately to not get to a point where X has won 4 in a row because my mentions will be enough.
I think it'd be fun if Wes and Sean went nose to nose at some point.
Probably not.
I know that's wishful thinking, though.
Yeah. That's a hatred that's going to have to build over time. I think they have great respect for each other right now.
Who's the better Miller? Let's start it right now. Who's the better Miller?
All right, let's get out of here. We will. We'll see you next time, Saturday, to discuss what happened in the Crosstown Shootout. This is the Nightcap. Thanks to Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.